Hi all, hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to work on a lab called Blue. Okay, so previously whatever victims we had all are Linux based. So this is the first time that we are going to uh, do something on the Windows. Like the host, that is us, will be on the Kali only, but the machine on which we are going to attack will be on the Windows base. So what are we going to learn today? So just a one liner, what we are reading is deploy and hack into a Windows machine leveraging common misconfiguration issues. So the very useful tool that we are going to see is the Metasploit. So what is Metasploit? So it basically gives us, okay, before doing that, let me just get connected and we'll deploy because it is going to take some time, and then we'll talk about what is Metasploit and what all things we are going to do. Okay, so let me just open the terminal and let me minimize this. Hope the font is visible. Just a second. Yeah. So cd desktop, TryHackMe, and then Dpoint, and what all I have here. So I have cd blue is what we are going to work on, and here I don't have anything. So let's first we need to connect, right? So sudo open VPN and then Dpoint. Okay. Yeah, let it connect, and meanwhile let's open one more tab, cd desktop, try me, and then dpoint, and then our room called blue. Okay, now we don't have anything here, so first thing we will do is just touch notes.txt. Okay, clear ls. Yes, we have this as expected. Now let's see if we are connected or not. In the terminal, let me see. Yes, sequence is completed, and this is also correct. Okay, now let's deploy this, and whatever we are going to find today, we'll just make a note of it, because previously we have seen we did some scans and then we have to do it again and again. So those mistakes we have learned that we should not repeat, and will not repeat again. We need to wait for one more minute to get the uh, IP address of the window. So okay, so before while it's loading, let me just open sublime notes.txt. Okay, so here the thing that we need to understand is this IP address that we are seeing is our tunnel. So let me just write that is my local host. Okay, and the remote host I'm going to get in a minute or two. Okay, so yeah, so what is Metasploit? It gives us all the vulnerabilities, like information on the vulnerabilities that is like possible that it could be present on the machine on which we are trying to do the pen testing. So first thing, it gives us the information. Second thing, it also provides us the method. It provides us with the script so as to penetrate, or so as to get the access to escalate and to do n number of other stuff. Like if you want to experiment something, if you want to try something, we need to pass a payload. So for that, again, it provides a script, it provides a methodology. So Metasploit is one such thing. If we are aware of it, and then when we are doing in and we are trying to do ethical hacking in real time, it could definitely help us. Like at least if we have knowledge, okay, these scripts are available, that is like excellent, more than enough. Okay, so that is about Metasploit. Now in the previous 2 to 5 labs we have seen nmap, but do we know that we have scripts for nmap as well? So we are going to try that out. Okay, so let me just copy this and paste it here. Okay, so first thing first, just to clear everything. And yeah, so what we are going to do is just let's read the task. We are going to do the recon, that is we are going to get the information. Second, we are going to gain the access, and then we are going to get the privilege escalation. So we will get the root access or something like that, and then we are going to crack the passwords and all, and then we are going to find the flags. Now this finding of flags is known as CTFs, but it is just to analyze what our knowledge we gain, how we are finding the flags based on what we are learning in the first four. I hope it is clear that what we are going to do today. So first is recon, scan and learn, scan and learn. Scan the machine. If you are unsure how to tackle, just execute nmap. So let me do this. Okay, so for all this date, we have simply did what we simply copied our remote host, copy, and then we simply did this. Okay, but today we are not going to do this. So what we are going to do is ls. We are going to make sure that we have a directory for nmap, and now when we are saying that I want to do nmap scan, okay, I also want it to run some scripts which is there with the nmap, which it will not run by default until and unless I tell it. Okay, so when I'm trying sc, it is going to run some scripts, so we are going to talk about those scripts in a minute, but before that let's trigger this scan. And then I want to tell that please tell me about all the vulnerabilities available as well. So about these flags you will get the information by doing man nmap. Okay, and then I'm saying that there is a directory called, okay, now whatever the output I'm getting, right, I'm saying please redirect out that output to the file that I'm mentioning. That is, there is a directory nmap, and I want to say, let's say, first scan, and finally we are going to give the IP address. So let it scan. Meanwhile we'll talk about the, okay, scripts of nmap. Okay, so we have something called .nsc file, that is nmap script engine. So if we have a command called locate to find all, like locate this file. So if I type locate.nsc, I will get all the related files, but we want to know what is this, like what all scripts are available. So if I just go and read the documentation, I'll find the categories, and in each category a list of scripts. Maybe I don't have an exact page where I can show you. Yeah, here I have something called locate nsc, but it is just that, okay, if I'm simply mentioning sc, it will run its default scripts, but if I tell any specific script, it will run that. So that's it. When it is required, we'll go deep into that, but for now let's see if something is happening or not. Okay, so whatever it is happening, it will go to, let me open a new tab, cd desktop, TryHackMe, Dpoint, and it's like blue, and then ls cd nmap nmap. Okay, so we'll wait for this to done, and meanwhile let's see what is a hint given for this. It's saying, yeah, this is the enumeration of vulnerability. Now what is -vv? So basically, internally, what nmap does, it tried to send some packets to each port. Okay, now if we don't get the packet back or acknowledgement back in a certain period, it consider that the port is not working or something like that, that it is not existing. So it will move on to the next thing. By writing -vv, I am saying don't wait for n second, but wait for the twice that time. That is, I'm not simply considering that any process is there or not, or I'm not taking, or I'm not asking nmap to take any decision for this much time by default. But when I say vv, it doubles the waiting time. When I say triple v, it triples the waiting time. But we don't have anything called 4v's or more than that. Okay, now here if I write hyphen script 1, it is basically explicitly telling that run the script called 1. So if we read the documentation of nmap, we'll get all the different categories of script. So here 1 is not a script, it is a category. Okay, then we have a target IP address. That's it. So you have seen that we had never used so many options of nmap previously. Let's see. Yeah, this is done. So if I do cat of first scan, you see all these things are available, but whenever required we'll go through it. Okay, so for now what we are finding is, uh, okay, we are done with the scan, so let's just complete this. How many ports are open with a port number under 1000? So under 1000 I have 135, 139, 445, 3 ports. So let me say 3 ports, and then what is this machine vulnerable to? Okay, now here it is clearly asking, so we need to make sure that nmap does it for us. So that's why we're saying script 1, like given in the hint. But since I'm already asking to find or get me the information on vulnerability, I will see that, okay, let's read this. Let me maximize this. I hope the font is visible. Yeah, so what we are getting is, okay, on 135 this is running, 139 this, uh, and all this stuff, fine, 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 professional. host script result. So here, if I see anything that I'm getting, there's Samba security, Samba OS discovery. I don't see anything related to vulnerabilities. Okay, so let me use that script. So this was our second scan that we are going to do. Okay, so in this we are going to tell it that please run script called one. Okay, let's wait for that to complete. Meanwhile, let's read this. So what is SMB? So if we are seeing it those many times, so SMB is basically, let's say, FTP specifically for Windows. Okay, it helps us in transferring the files from one host to another, and that kind of like a protocol or that kind of service is available only on Windows, and it is again based on some Apache services. So let's not get into so much deep. So SMB is simply a transfer protocol available on Windows. So let's Google it as well. What is SMB? So is server message block. Okay, it's protocol for sharing files, serial ports and all. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is good. Server communication protocol. Fine. Let's see if we got any information on this. Okay, so meanwhile it is running. Let's see what is the next task asked for us. Okay, gain access. So I hope since we are done with the recon, that is the whole information that we needed in terms of reconnaissance for this lab. Okay, exploit the machine and gain a foothold. So basically it is asking to just get the access, cell access, terminal access, like that. Okay, so whatever I want to run, I should be able to run. So gain access, so that we will be done by the end of second task. So let me see if the scan is done. No, it's still going on. So what else we have? All this is running on TCP, Microsoft Windows RPC, common name John PC. Is this some kind of user? Let me just make copy. Yeah, common name. So okay, let's see if we can use it somewhere. NetBIOS, SSN, Microsoft DS. So this is, yeah, this is something which is again open for us, I can say. Let's see what is this. Copy. Let's see what is this. Microsoft DS exploit. So we can see there is something available in exploit DB as well. Is the name given to 445, which is used by SMB. Together these points lead to SMB. Together these points. Okay, so I can say maybe this is a service. DS is a service on which SMB is running. Okay, and by default port of it is 445. Okay, makes sense. Okay, what is the status of our scan? Yeah, I see it is done. Okay, so if I see what we got here, nmap second scan, I again get all these things, and then I see some vulnerable as well. So here MS12020 desktop protocol denial service. Okay, so before talking about this vulnerability, right? So we can like simply go to exploit DB and we can search for this, or we can search for this in something called Metasploit. So MS stands for made simple. Now in detail we are not going to go about each of this, but don't get diverted because of these vulnerabilities. We are not focused on these kind of vulnerabilities. We are focused on the result of this scan. So if I scroll down, I see all these things again. Okay, so this is where I should focus on host script results. So in this, if I see, okay, what all things it is giving: vulnerable remote code execution vulnerability. So if this is there, I can say that I will be able to access. Okay, so there is some CVE. If I search for this in the exploit DB, I'll get the details. And then a critical remote code execution vulnerability exists in the Microsoft Samba servers, which is MS17010. So let me just make a copy of this. Copy selection, Control Shift C. We'll do that from the next time. Okay, and then we have something called MS17. Control Shift C, Control V. Yeah. So now if I go here, the format in which is it is asking what is the machine vulnerable to. There I see it starts from MS. So the thing that we need to focus on that we don't get divert from our actual paths. Don't focus on the vulnerabilities that we get in the list completely. Just focus on the results that we are getting. So let me just paste it, submit. Yeah, so we are done with the first task. Now we need to do the gain access. So here it is saying start Metasploit. So Metasploit is available to us in, let me just clear my screen. Okay, ls what all things are nmap and nodes. Okay, so to start Metasploit, I have some command called msf console. Okay, and yeah, it will take some time to start. So meanwhile, let's see what next thing is available. So if I just open hint, okay, it is also giving here. Find the exploitation code we will run against the machine. What is the full path of the code? So basically now, as we have discussed, Metasploit is like already we were given information about uh, what vulnerability or what MS thing is vulnerable by the Windows machine. So we need to find the script which we can use to like which we can use to exploit. So basically here after we do exploit we will get the access. So what is that script we can use to exploit this? Okay, now we are not going to write the script. Every single script is provided to us by the Metasploit. So find the exploitation code. So for this we need not to work very much hard. Okay, just we know that this is something that the vulnerability exists. So I'll go to this. Yeah, so this diagram, right, you will get different diagram every time. So I'll simply clear my screen and I simply need to do search, control shift V. I'm searching about this vulnerability. So once I search, okay, search for this. Okay, now here I see some 0 to 5, that is six scripts available. So I'll not go for auxiliary, I'll stick to what is asked to done, that is exploit. Now in this exploit I see this samba race process execution, which doesn't seems to be like for I can say the to get the access, or I can say to make a connection which could give me an access. Okay, now here if I see eternal blue Windows 8. Now if we are not able to understand or interpret this, simply focus on description. So what is this meant for? Double parcel remote code execution. Now as we know that our server is something using a service called Samba. So we'll focus on Samba service. So I see two things here: Eternal Blue Samba remote Windows kernel pool corruption, Eternal Blue Samba remote Windows pool corruption for this is Windows 8 plus plus. So we can either go with 2 or either go with 3. So for this, right, to avoid the conflicts, because from the lab I know that it is Windows, but in real time we can do like we can try to get the operating system with the nmap with the flag on, and based on that you can say again it is a Windows or Linux or what. But here since I know it is Windows 8, so is it Windows 8? Let's try to find that as well. Nmap hyphen o, and yeah, it's 1010. Let me just verify. Remote host was 1010 60 13 60 13. Request root privileges. I am not okay. So we'll simply go with the sudo sudo, and then we'll do this. So let me wait for that result again, because I'm not going to use this again and again. I'll simply store what is the operating system. I'm not saving it any file. So I'm pausing and waiting for the result. Okay, so I got the result here, but I don't see any specific operating system, no exact operating system for host. So it's fine. Right, no issues, because we know now that Samba service is running. Let's stick to Windows, but both are Windows. So like we can try the second one, and if it doesn't work, we can go with the third one. So if we have too many scripts, maybe we can go for something, some sort of for loop or something of that. Okay, so let me just copy this. So we are going to make use of second, and if this doesn't work we will go for the next one. Okay, but we have to somehow narrow down every result that we are getting. So the command that we are going to say is use, and then whatever the script we are getting. Okay, now we are now inside the MSF console. So let me clear the screen and use Control Shift V. Okay, so you can see now we are inside that. So if you simply do search or you list out everything, you will get thousands of vulnerabilities. So if you just want to explore, you can go through one by one, and that will be like too much knowledge for you. But again, until unless we do practice and come across any specific situation, we'll forget it. So just don't try to just read out every skill, which is not going to give that much fruitful result. Anyway, we are going to forget it. So just try to use and try to search whenever it is required. Okay, so first thing that we need to do is search for options. So I see all these things are available when I try to use this script. So if I want to use this script and want to modify something, I can do that. So by default I can see whether it is required, yes, yes, no, no. So for all these thing values are there, but for the remote host, they don't know, right, which script on which host I want to execute script. So these kind of things which is mandatory and not present, I need to provide that values, and then I need to use this script. So let's get back to our lab and see what is they are asking. So this is something that, okay, yeah, this could help us in verifying, but in real time we can use both the script, I can say. Okay, Control V, submit. Yeah, this is good. So option, set the one required value. What is the name of this value? Okay, show options is something that is going to give us what is the default option that the script is going to make use of, and what it is asking is set the one required value. What is the name of the value? So what is the name of the value? This is the remote host which is not required, and I have to set. So it is our host. Our host, submit, run the exploit. So I need to set the value first. Okay, so what is the value? This is my remote host. Copy, and then I need to simply say that set our host and simply give the value. Okay, now if I say show options again, I see, okay, let me maximize this. Okay, so now we see that remote host value is set. So now I can either use run, either I can like I can type run, I can type exploit, or either I can simply just enter it. So let me just go with the run. Let's see what is it that we are expecting now. So basically what we are expecting is whatever the script that we are running, it should like try to gain the access in the windows or whatever our remote host is, and it should give me a tunnel or a shell with which I can execute any commands of my wish. Okay, so this place is kind of uh, I can say not that much straightforward as we have other steps like nmap or any other scan. Okay, so meanwhile it is going on. Let's read what is run the exploit. Yes, confirm that the exploit has run correctly. You may have to press enter the DAO shell to appear background. If this failed, you may have to reboot the target. So you see, this is not that straightforward. So let's just see what is okay. So you see, it is failed. It did not give me any sort of action. So it is trying again and again, and if it failed for the first time, I there is a less probability that it will pass for the second. So there is no pass, there is win. If we get the access, it is win. So there is no pass, fail and win, that's it. So we'll wait for one more uh, trial done by this, and if it again fails, then we will try something else. Okay, so let me pause and okay, let's see what it is doing meanwhile instead of pausing it. So it is connecting, it is connection established, and then target OS select valid. Okay, core row buffer. So what does each of these line means? Okay, so these kind of things, the base of IP addresses and various other stuffs which are related to networking. Okay, we are going to have a separate playlist for that, including the network models, the TCP models, the layers, and every that sort of thing. So just hold on for that. So we'll stop this because it failed again. So what we'll do is show options. So in this we have something called localhost. So we are going to give our tunnel IP then this time. Okay, copy and terminal. I'm using my mouse a bit, but if you are really good with terminal, we'll stay away from that. So set lhost, lhost, and then give whatever our tunnel IP is there, and we are going to clear and run the script again. So let's hope it works this time. If not, then we'll just give a try with the second script maybe. But I am going to do pause and do that maybe if it doesn't work, because again I don't want to consume your time, and I don't which is not giving the output. Okay, so let's hope this works fine. Okay, so now you see Meterpreter session 1 open. Okay, so now you see win. Okay, so I don't think everyone needs to modify the local host. It's just that maybe my virtual machine is something wrong, or maybe the default that I'm getting is something differently behaving. But yeah, so what I need to do is I'm in the Meterpreter. So what I see is session 1 is open. So let me just say show sessions. Oh, sorry. So let me, I'm clicking Control Z, okay, and I have this tunnel safe with me, okay, and I can do whatever, I can go wherever without the risk or without the worry of losing that tunnel or losing that connection which I already got. So when you see meterpreter, right? Okay, don't get confused. When I say meterpreter, it means I got the access already, okay. So I did Control Z, or you can type background, you can type any one of them. Okay, oh man, my reason died. So if I say so sessions, there is no active sessions now. If I try to exploit this again, so this is some issue with my virtual machine. But as soon as we type background or we type control Z, we have it stored safely in the background and we are doing other stuff. So let's see if it is working or not. But for this specific lab, this the kind of issues we will not get in real time. But for this specific lab, if we are getting it, again the lab has given us the solution of what we have to do. So I'll do that. But let's wait for to get a proper fail or win kind of output. If like, because this kind of thing even we are going to get in this lab, not in the real time. So what is the solution that we are going to do, that we'll see in a moment. So let's fail or pass in a moment. Okay, I should not type anything. Sending egg to corrupted connections, triggering free of corrupted buffer. Okay, trying. Okay, what happened? It failed. So let me just clear this screen and let me just exit this. I don't want this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to terminate this. That's it. Because this is specific to lab. So if you read this, just reboot the target virtual machine, try it again, running it again. That's what it is saying, and I am facing it. So so I am glad that they have given me this solution. Okay, this we are not going to get in real time, but it is specific to this lab. So let me just close this, and once this 1 minute is done, I'll try to run the metasploit again, and I'll try to get back on the point where we are getting the meterpreter. So again, what is meterpreter? Meterpreter, if you are able to see, it means there is a session, there is a tunnel formed, so that you are directly connecting to your target virtual machine, that is our Windows one virtual machine in our case. So I am pausing now. I'll wait for 1 minute and I'll try to get the meterpreter, then we'll continue. So I just triggered it again, and the only difference that we have is the difference of the remote host. So I have just copied it resource remote host here, and let me just try to execute some commands. Who am I don't know. pwd, I'm in C Windows System 32. So if I type shell, so I have the connection, I want to use terminal, so I'll say shell. Now you can see it is C Windows System 32. Now let me just uh, yeah, I don't want to execute anything because I don't know what is my next task. So what I can do is I can simply just say background, or I can like just press Ctrl Z or type background and then type yes. So let me just clear will work or not. No, it is not working. So what I can do is maybe I need to go back or something. Let me just read out my next task. So in this gain access, yeah, we have executed this. Yes, RS run the exploit is done. Yeah, we are done with the reconnaissance. In the escalate thing, what we are trying to do is, if you haven't already run the background, yeah, this is done. How to convert a shell to meterpreter. So here we need to see show sessions. Somehow I need to get to the what I can say, the MSF console. So let me try Control Z. Yeah, background session. Yes. Okay. So I background it again. So from the shell I came to meterpreter, and from meterpreter I came back to my exploit. So let me just clear this, and I can type source sessions. So here I see I got meterpreter directly. Okay, now some of you will might not get meterpreter directly. So what you will get? You will get something called as windows. So what we need to do is we need to convert that windows shell to meterpreter. So at that time what we need to do is we can search for something like, since I have used many scripts, I am familiar with that. Okay, there is this one script which is available. So or else you can simply search convert shell to meterpreter. Okay, that's it, nothing else. um, I can type metasploit. Okay, then we'll have a script which is already present, which we call as shell to metasploit or something like that. Okay, no, I can see. Okay, let me simply search in here. So search, what is that, shell to meterpreter. Okay, so you see that there is this thing. So because you will get shell, and we want to execute commands which we cannot simply get shell. So what we are doing here is we are escalating our privilege from shell to meterpreter. So to do that, we have a script called shell to meterpreter. So here this is doing a privilege escalation for us. Okay, so since I got the meterpreter directly, I don't need to do this. But if you are if you are getting something called shell, like Windows session, something like that, and you are not getting meterpreter, then you have to do this. So I'll show you how to do that, but I don't need it because I have meterpreter. Okay, so this is the script. So if I copy this, and this is what I need to convert. Now how we know? Because our intention is we have shell, and the task is to upgrade it to meterpreter. So we need to search for script to do that in the metasploit, or we can search for it in Google. Okay, so this is that script which is going to upgrade our shell to meterpreter. And to use this, again we have to go with the similar commands of metasploit, that is use, run, exploit, set, show options, everything. Okay, so let me just we have already copied, right? Let me just paste it here, submit. Now here it is asking select this module path, so options, what options are we required to change? So again, what we need to do, we need to clear the screens and show options. Okay, before this, I need to show you this. So sessions. So basically you will have your session with the something called uh, shell or windows. Now you need to upgrade this. So upgrade means you want the session to be privilegedly escalated. So that's why when you are in we have not used it. Okay, so basically there is a session 1, I want to upgrade it to something else. Now that something else will come to me as a session 2. So that's why we need to make use of that meterpreter script first. So let me just paste selection, and if I, okay, let me just clear this. Now this is a very crucial point. At this point you will have windows or shell. I have meterpreter, so don't confuse. If you have windows or shell, you need to use this script to upgrade it to meterpreter. So what how it is doing, or what it is doing is, we just need to give that it will do the privilege escalation, but we need to tell, right, to what session or what machine or what connection or what tunnel it is that we want this to escalate as a meterpreter. So I'm going to do set session as, what is the session? So how we will know which session? So if I simply say show sessions, which is the session ID? It is 1. So that's why I'm going to do set session. Now it is setting the session for what? It is setting the session for the options of shell to meterpreter. So I'm going to do set session 1. So options. Now it is 1. Now when you do run or when you do, okay. Now when you do run or when you do exploit, after it is successfully upgrading it, after that try to open this. So sessions, okay, at that time you will get one more session with the meterpreter. Now at this point you and me again are back to the point that both of us have something called meterpreter. Now I want to use that, okay. Now before using that, let's see what is required here. So select the so options. What options are we required to change? So it was session or sessions. Let us see. Yeah, it was session. Select the required option. You may need to list all the sessions. That is the source session we have used. Complete and run. If this doesn't work, try completing the exploit from the task once more. So it is again restart and do again thing, because these connection formation, these privilege escalation by the scripts is not very stable. Okay, so that's why we need to repeat again if it is not done, like the only for some specific again, not this is not applicable for all. Okay, now once the meterpreter shell conversion completes, select the session for use. Okay, now how we can use this session? So I'll show you that, but let's you make use of hint. So session number, that's it. Okay, excellent. Now verify that. Okay, let me just have this here and have this here so we can see both of them at same time. I hope the font is visible. Yeah. um okay, cool. Let's get it back as well. Okay, so what it is saying is simply make use of session number, that is 1. It is not using. So once the meterpreter shell is converted, select the session for use. Sessions session number. Okay, it is sessions, not session. Okay, so I got the meterpreter again. So I can say I completed this. Now verify that we have escalated to NT some system. Run get system to confirm this. So let's run this get system. Get system via technique in memory. It means something it is saying. No. Okay, let's do who am I. Even that is not working. This should return that we are indeed system. Background this shell afterwards and not select our meterpreter session for use again. Verify that we have escalated to this. I don't see. Get SUID, get UID. Okay, so there is this commands for which we might have privileges or we might not. So whatever commands we know, just try to execute all of them, because somewhere we need to see what is the level of thing that we are having privileges. So as of now I can see I have authority system. Okay, now this should return that we are indeed system. Background this shell afterwards and select our meterpreter session again. Okay, so so far you are in shell. Okay, so in shell. Okay, so what when you are in shell, right, you will get something like C Windows System 32. Here you have to execute the command that it is saying. Let me see if I am able to execute. Who am I? Yes, I am able to execute it. And then I can execute what else? Get system. Okay, so it was not the meterpreter, it was something like Windows command. So once this is done, just do Control Z and background this. Okay, now we are back to meterpreter, and here let me see if I can do clear. No, CLR SCR. Okay, fine. So here we got this. List all the process running via the process state PS. Okay, I did this. Now what does it need? Find a process towards the bottom of the list that is running and write down the process. Okay, so let's say search index.exe. Uh, okay, everything is running in an NT authority system is what I see. Let's consider service host. Okay, now what it is saying is just write down. Just because we are system doesn't mean our process is. Maybe because even in the system we have different kinds of privileges. Find a process towards the bottom of the list that is running at this, yeah, and write down the process ID. So process ID for this is 2728. So let's copy this and make a note of it. PID 2728, and what was that? Service host.exe. I don't know whether I'm going to use it or not, but just write it. Okay. Yeah, we are done. Now migrate to this process command where the process ID is the one you wrote down in the this may take several attempts, you may fail, try again. Okay, so what we need to do is migrate. Okay, before doing this, get UID, we were this, and let's do migrate, and after that we'll check again. So what is it that we want to do? 2728, migrating from 1300. So it's like we can use any process that we want if we have meterpreter, because that level of escalation we got. Now we can just uh, shake hands with any of the process and execute as though we are part of that process. Okay, now we are migrated to 2728, which is service host. Now let's execute this again, get UID. We are still NT authority system, so we have completed this. So what we have done here is, so basically I got the meterpreter, but you might get shell, you might get what I can say, you might get Windows session, and you will use shell to meterpreter to escalate. Okay, that's what we are doing here, escalate. Now finally we have to do cracking. Now this is the good part, right? Because whatever we have learned, we need to just make use of within our elevated master preter shell. So master, sorry, meter preter. Okay. Meter preter, not master preter. Run the command called hash dump. This will dump all the passwords on the machine as long as we have correct privileges. So for Windows I see it is hash dump. I'm not sure what is it for Kali, so maybe we can try to Google it that later on. But I see administrator and something here, something here, something. Okay, so we are going to interpret this in a minute. Let's just copy this, copy selection, and just make a note of it. So what we got from hash dump is all these three. Okay, and let's just save it. Okay, I hope the font is visible. So what it is saying is, okay, hash done, this will dump all the passwords on the machine as long we have the, what is the name of non-default user. So let me open the sublime text. So what we are seeing here is, okay, we have administrator, which is a default, guest is a default. So John is something that I see it is a non-default. And just to help us, we have a three letters here. So let me write JON and submit it. Okay, now now this concept. Okay, so there is some John, then there is some number, and then there is again there is two hashes. Okay, so what we need to do is, basically, what is our next task is copy this password hash to a file and research how to crack it, or what is the cracked password. So I need to make a copy of this hash. Okay, now I don't know what is the format and all, but I know a tool like John the Ripper, Hashcat, AirCrackNG, online tools, too many other stuffs. Okay, so let's like for this lab I'm going to stick with Hashcat. So for Hashcat, what is the thing, what is it that is required? So let me just go to the new tab, Control Shift T, and Hashcat, and then here I can type for -h. So in -h I can see what are the parameters I need to pass and all, what is the mode, what is all these things. But something that we need is all this kind of stuff. So there are too many archives or too many formats of hashes, right? Now we know two things. One is that this hash is something which is was present on the Windows. Okay, and what else do we have? I don't see any other thing. Okay, but there is something called this hash modes. So I don't know exactly what this list is, but uh, so for every kind of hash, right, we'll have some symbol in front of the hash stating what kind of hash is this. Is it SHA-5 512 or 516 something, and like whatever it is, 216 something, okay, of that, right? There will be different symbols. Share let's say $6 is what hash. Okay, so $6 value indicates that 6 password has SHA-512. Okay, so there is a meaning of every, like in every hash we have something as a prefix which is going to tell us what kind of hash it is. Okay, so similar to that, we have something called 1000 here. So let's search if we'll get something 1000 as prefix of hash. Okay, x longest prefix matching prefix hash tree, which has it, which type of hash. I don't see anything. But what I know is it is made out of a Samba server. So let me try to add as much as possible. Okay. So I see some thousand, but Windows 95, $98 prefix. I see something. But again, I know that it is made up on top of a Windows. So what I can do is uh, hashing system of Windows. Okay, so what I see is NT or NTLM, NT LAN manager hash is the new and more secure of hashing password used by current Windows. Okay, so I can say let's say it is NTLM, which is NT LAN manager. So what I can do is netcat hyphen h, and I want to grep. I don't know where all this types of mode is there, so we'll just stick to this and we'll search for NTLM. So did we get anything? Let me just maximize this. And what we are doing is we are searching for NTLM and we did not get anything, right? So let's see netcat. Just let's see what all things we need to find. Numeric only, local port, telnet, verbose. Okay. I think I'm going somewhere wrong. It is not netcat, it is hashcat. Okay, so let's see the introduction of it once. Okay, let me open Chrome. Hashcat. Okay, so what is hashcat user? Is a password recovery tool. Okay, so here if I let me open one more, Control Shift hashcat, and then let's see hyphen L hyphen H grep. And what is the password mechanism that we were searching for is our, that's why we should make a note of everything. Okay, it was something. Okay, let's search, no problem, it happens in the beginning. So hashing mechanism in Windows, so it is ntnm copy. And finally, okay, let's make a note of it, Windows hashing mechanism. This is not the only one, but this is the latest one. Oh man, what happened? Copy, paste, save, minimize, and then let's get back to our terminal. Okay, graph, and then Control Shift V. So let's see. Yeah, now we see this is something that we need 1000 5600 or 5000, whatever it is. Okay, now this is something called as format. So what we will do with the format? Now we know the format. First, we need to make sure that we have whatever the hash is required in something called. Now make use of only the last one. Now how I know which part whether I need to use? I need to use this 1000, this or this. So what my understanding is, this is something called username and this is something called password. So I can give a complete list. I can see what is the result. I can give the first list and I can see what is the result. I can give the second and what is the result. So for now, let's see what is the output of this. I'll copy this, and in which place are we? Let's stick to our the current terminal, or the metasploit is still there. Excellent. And we'll clear all this thing and we'll go to our directory, cd desktop, TryHackMe, Dpoint, and then blue, and what all things we had, notes. So now what we are trying to do is we are trying to do hashcat hash no, so cat, and then let's say this is hash value. Okay, or let's say, yeah, hash value. okay, and then Control Shift V, and then Control C. Okay. Now don't go to the next line and do Control C, because again that new line, that is slash n or the special symbol, whatever it is there for the new line, as of now it is slash n, that will also be considered as a part of hash. So just stay away from it. Okay. Now I am saying hash cat hyphen format. So what was my format? 1000. Okay, so format is equal to 1000, and then what is the value we are having? Hash value, that is the source. And what is the word list or the list of phrases that I want to try on hash, because you need to understand how the hash works. So we'll talk about that. Let's just trigger this first. So slash user slash share, and then we have word list, and then we have what rockq.txt. So if you are using it for the first time, it will be in the gz form. You need to unzip and then you have to make use of it. Format 1000 is invalid. Maybe I need to pass it like this. Hyphen format hash. What is wrong here? Okay, hash cat hyphen h. So do I see any format? Yeah, format I see here, but I don't see any option. How do we get hash cat? Okay, let's search about that. Hashcat sample command. How to crack password using hashcat? Yeah. Okay. So let's see, where are we giving format? Format. Let me not waste your time. Let me search for it and then show you. Okay. So the best documentation is man itself. Okay. So I can see formats, features, and all, but the values that we were using are not formats. It's the mode. So if I scroll to top, and I can see it is hash mode. So the way we write it is clear, simply hashcat, and the mode is 1000, and then we have our hash value, and then our rockq.txt. So slash user slash share. If we are using it very frequently, just get that file and keep it at the relative location. So slash share, then word list, and then we have rockq.txt. Okay, so what happened here is Hashcat minimum password length supported, maximum is this. So I think there is something wrong in the hash. Okay, let me open the hash value through Sublime. Hash value, and there's nothing here. In which did we pasted it? Okay, let me just do ls. We have hash value. So cat hash value. I think we did not pasted it. So let me just get this again, copy, and do sublime on hash value and just paste it. This is the best thing I think, if it is just not a node. So clear everything and just run that hashcat again. Okay, now all hashes found in profile use should display them platform. Oh, what is wrong? Minimum password length supported, max. Again something is wrong. Let me open that hash value. Yeah, it is there. Maybe I'm giving some wrong format. Okay, so this is not giving us, maybe because of some reason. So if I simply go to my Sublime and see what is the length of this, Control A, Control C, I checked, like we can use the direct function, but as I'm a fan of JavaScript, I'm simply using the JavaScript dot length, and I tried checking it with this dot length, and I see it's of 32 char. So I'm assuming that each char is of 4 bytes in this case, and that's how maybe it is not satisfying the length that is required for our NLTM or NTLM. What is that? So let me get back to my notes, and it is NTLM. Yeah, LAN manager. So what in this case, what we can try is, maybe we can go to private window, just decrypt hash. It's not decrypt. Decrypt is not correct word, But what we can say, because hash is like a one way, it's only come to forward the there will be some key, there will be some salt which will be used to convert the actual phrase into something else, and a unique hash is generated. So those hashes are mapped to see whether the password was correct or not. So it's like one way. From the phrase we convert it to hash and then map. So there is no way of like getting the phrase from the hash using key or salt anything. Okay. So just paste it here. Crack station. Okay. 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 So I see. Okay. Type is given. Everything is given here. Okay, so maybe in future, even if we don't want the result or we only want to know the type, so which could get help us enumerate more and more data, maybe we can come here and use. So as of now, I see this is the result. So let's just check if this is the password we needed or not. So let's close all the unnecessary things. Go to TryHackMe, paste, submit. Yeah, it worked fine. So in hint, what it is giving can be found within the rocku.txt. So rocku.txt is what I tried. Okay, maybe I can research a bit more on this and then I can put that in the description. But we have Hydra, we have John the Ripper, we have so many other things to just do this stuff. Okay, so this website tool is like the most simple thing. Don't need to understand flag anything, just go paste and try. So I need to find what is wrong or how can I do it from hashcat, and then I'll post what was wrong that we did in this video and could have done correctly, so that we could get the correct value with the let's say with the hashcat. Okay, so let's do one more things which is not required. Let's try to see what is this. Okay, I see the length is kind of similar. So let's get here, control A, control V. I see the length is vary, so I don't know what type it is. Just crack hashes. I see this is LM and there is no result. Now I don't know whether it is a username or what, but okay, let's see. But fine. So I see LM is one of its supporters types and TLM. Now what is LM? What is LM in hash context? LM hashes are used by LAN manager authentication and old authentication mechanism that predates NTLM. NT hashes are stored to use Kerberos. So this Kerberos is again a big and very good concept. So we'll have something on that. So if you don't know the interesting fact, Kerberos means a dog with three heads. Okay, so that is again a very good story. We can talk about it some other day. But let's see what is meaning of Kerberos. So there's again an interesting story, and based on that, again there is a different level, different set of uh, what I can say. An infrastructure is based so that the credential mechanism is developed on top of that. Okay, so let me simply write. This is just to make our mode fresh. Kerberos, three-head dog. Kerberos, three-headed dog. You see this? Yeah, Cerberus. So from three-headed dogs, it is Cerberus, and from that Cerberus, we got Kerberos, and that's how. Because okay, I will not again go into Kerberos as of now, but that is an excellent topic. We'll have a complete video on that separately, not now. Okay, so as of now, did I copy the password? Oh man, at least I should. Oh yeah, thank God. So password of John is something called, yeah, password of John. So we have this upcoming topics on the networking concepts, and then we have something on the credentials management authorization. It might be the one that is used by Django or the Kerberos or the JWT. So we are going to have a list only for the authorization and authentication stuff. That's it. Okay. So for now, let's focus on the lab. So we are done with the username and password. But even after we are done with lab, we need to find out what are other methods that we can use for each kind of task. Okay, so if you find okay for this steps I could have done something else, please do mention in the comment section. Okay, now we are reached the final thing, which is again the most interesting part, the find flags. Okay, only submit the flag contents. I don't see anything here, so let's just make use of hint. Can you see it? Should I run C program? Okay, so let me get back to this interpreter. Okay, so if I clear my screen, let me see if that interpreter session is still there or not. Thank God it is still there, because otherwise I need to do the terminate, I need to get the new remote host, and then again I need to exploit and get the new session, which is the issue with the lab, not with the real time thing. Okay, so what we need to do is sessions. Either I can do sessions and then that, or I can do session interact with what? Interact with one. So we have thousands other manner of doing that. Oh, am I? Is it running? No. Why is it not running? Get system. Okay, it is giving me something at get UID. Maybe this is what meant for the interpreter, but I can type shell to go inside it. So should I do that? If required, we can do that. But why will I need that? Because I have much more privilege as a interpreter than compared to what privileges I have as a shell. So let's stick to this, and let me do print working directory. So I am here. So it said, can you see it? Yes, I can see the C. Maybe let's dot slash. So if you can see, I am writing commands which are not Windows. It is commands of Linux. Okay. So let me give you an example. So if I go to shell, if I say print working directory, I don't know what is it, because pwd is not something related to Windows. I hope this is making sense. Okay. So if I say cd Windows, tab is not working, OWS. Yeah, okay, CD is working. So if I go into shell, I have to stick to with the, I can say, the Windows commands. Then I have to work very hard to just read the content, to open the file, to close the file. I don't want to be here. I want to stick with the interpreter. So just do Control Z and get back to our interpreter. So here clear will work. No, I don't know what is the clear screen command for interpreter, but our thing is print working directory. Now I am able to use all the Linux commands and all. Okay, so let's do ls. Okay, now here I see something called flag1.txt. Now simply use Linux commands. Again, stick to Linux when we are interpreter, when we have the opportunity, just make use of it. Okay, so flag1.txt, I got the first machine. I mean, access the machine. Okay, so this is my first flag. I don't need to paste it anywhere. I mean, no need to just do the reconnaissance for this. Now, errata. Windows really doesn't like the location of this flag and can occasionally delete it. It may be necessary in some cases to terminate or restart the machine and rerun the exploit to find this flag. This is relatively low. Doesn't like the location of this flag and occasionally delete it. Temporary locations in, also we generally go to mod, temp mod, and we clear all the stuff, right? So those kind of things, I that mod temps comes to my mind, recycle comes to my mind, and like Linux has temp directory, or Windows have config directory. Okay, like Linux has that shared memory, Windows has network drive. So in that manner we'll correlate, and we can see that temp directory, if you have used any process generating any temp files. So we have seen, if you see any actual name which makes sense is there in the temporary file, that is either made by human, and if not, that is something suspicious. Okay, temporary locations in Windows. So I can say temporary of Linux is nothing but the config of this. So C temp, this is something we need to search, and then what else we can do is we can search for the config. Okay, so I'll go here. uh, okay, so where am I? Print working directory, I'm in C drive already. So ls, do I see? Oh, okay, okay, I need to go to temp l. What happened? I don't have temp here. Users Windows, no. Okay, let's go to our this config. C Windows cd system 32 and cd config. Now as per my knowledge, I remember that we have 10 other places of configurations apart from in the hierarchy. This is the first place where we have the configuration plan, but down the line we have, like on a flat structure, we'll find configuration file in every what I can say in every executable program or library in the program file. So we can use a find, we can use a search, and like search with the file name or search with the directory called config, something like that. Okay, let's do ls. So yeah, here I got again. So cat flag 2.txt. I can use tab. I don't know why I'm typing again and again, because maybe I'm a Windows user, so I'm habituated. I need to use tab as much as possible. I think that is one of the fastest thing uh, that can be done, or that can be used, like to like just reduce the time spent on typing by half just by tab. Okay, flag 3, nothing is given. Hint, you'll need to have elevated privileges to access the flag. So here what I see is I as a user cannot access the files of other users. Okay, so here maybe I okay, so I need to see what are the different users we have already. We have John, we have guest, we have administrator. Okay, so let's we can see all the files of them. Okay, so clear. Oh man, print working directory. I am in cd and ls. Oh ho. Print working directory. C Windows. No, I need to go to C. So users will be there in where? In the users. So users. Okay, now what all users are available? I have all users, default user, John, public. So let's just go randomly. Public, and then what is there? Have documents, downloads, everything here. So let me just simply do find hyphen name flag star, maybe in this current directory, unknown command. Okay, is it search? You must specify a valid globe to search for. Okay, search in my current directory. So if you remember, you must specify star.doc. Okay, so maybe I need txt file. Must specify what is it? You must specify a valid file globe hyphen name. So I maybe it is not name, it is just this. Okay, let's not waste our time. So just go help now. Man search. This is the best documentation. Okay, search hyphen h. Oh man, hyphen h. Okay, so what I say is hyphen d hyphen f hyphen h hyphen r. So let's go with file. So let me say that this is my file and search in my current directory. So where am I currently? I am inside the public. So let me wait for the result. Maybe I could have done the multiple sessions with the Meterpreter, and I could have run those simultaneously. That could, like, if I'm sure that I'm going to do these many things. Okay, I don't see. Oh, okay. I got flag 1, flag 2, and flag 3. Now this is in the John, but I got it, but I was like, if I see print working directory, I'm in public, but it is searching for everywhere. So maybe dot slash is not relative in this case. So dot slash it searched for the complete system, I guess. So again, we need to see what we can do to search in the current directory. But as of now, I see it somehow searched for the whole system. So if I want to search for the whole system, right, I will not say dot. I will simply say slash. That is an absolute path that search for the whole thing. Maybe this is what it should I should have written, so that it searches for the, no, still it is searching for the whole. Anyway, it is good for me that I got it, but again we have to explore that what command needs to be executed to search only in the current directory, because if the directory is very huge in GBs or TBs, then it is going to unnecessarily eat all our time. So again, let's see how we can search in only a specific directory with the search command. If you get anything, please do mention in the comment section. If I get, I'll mention in the description. Okay, so copy selection, we'll simply do the cat, control shift V. Operation failed. What happened now? So let's just move to that directory. Where am I currently? I'm in this cd. I need to go to John, and after that documents, and then okay, here let me do cat here flag. Tab is not working again. That's not my fault. Don't tell me in the comment section that you use flag and all. So let me do cd documents cat flag 3.txt. I got it here. Okay. Again, I am able to cat the John file because I am having a privileged access. Okay. So if I was in a shell and I was logged in as a specific public user, I could not have access to read this flag. So as of now we got this final flag, and I have not pasted it anywhere because it is not required. So just submit it, and I think yeah, we are done with the slab. So basically what we are learning here is different kinds of tools, what is Metasploit, how we can use it, and whole lot of such things. Okay, so in this complete lab I have done many silly mistakes, but at least I am trying to learn. Okay, and I hope the same with you. And if you find my explanation good, just click on notification bell, subscribe, and give a nice thumbs up. And there are things that in between we were stuck, and we discussed that if possible you could mention some good methods or some alternates, or if you find any other method of how you could have understood if you have a hash. Okay, how you can get what type of hash it is. Okay, and then what is the best method of hashing it. Okay, and try out to get the passphrase of that hash with any of the tools instead of going to the website. Like that is good, but it would be helpful for us if we try to do with the some tool, because yeah, we will not find website for everything for every mode, because if we have seen in the crack website that we have seen, there was only some limited 10 to 15, but if we use tools like hashcat, we have nearly 10,000 kind of modes available. So try exploring with that, and I hope this lab was really good. I felt like I really learned some new concepts. So that's all for today. If you find this explanation like suitable to you, or like it was a clear cut picture of what you were trying to understand, so please do share it with people who are trying to learn, and please do mention good methodology so I can follow them. And whatever materials, if you find anything good with respect to this, or what is the lab that you want I should do after this, please do mention all those things in the comment section. And that's all for today. Make the best use of this lockdown, practice as much as possible, and let's develop our cybersecurity knowledge. So that's all for today. Thank you.